What's going on, everybody? Thanks for stopping by my channel today. My name is Daryl, and it is a beautiful day here in southern Illinois. Now, I want to stay out here on the deck and just take in the beautiful sights, the woods, the birds, all the different animals that are out here today. But I have something I need to get done, and that's that built-in cabinet. Now, in the last video, we got those drawer fronts all milled and veneered, and everything's running good so far. I haven't made any mistakes. So my next step is to put some finish on those. Let me take you inside and we'll take a look at the cabinet. And I have those drawer fronts roughed in, like just kind of laying in there so you can kind of get a look at them. So let's go in there and have a look. Alrighty, we are inside and we're taking a look at the cabinet. Now, we've already started moving into this cabinet. So we got our jackets in there and a few other things. But I've laid in these drawer fronts and they're sitting in there right now. So I'm going to pull these out and take them out to the shop, and we are going to put some gel stain on there and let them sit overnight. And then maybe tomorrow at some point I'll be able to start putting some clear coat finish on and move forward with this. Now, I haven't gotten any hardware yet, mainly because I'm really choosy when it comes to hardware. Now, this is a shaker design, so we kind of want to stay with something along the lines of a shaker hardware, but that is pretty difficult to find. And now also this transom area, I've built a frame for it, but I have no panel in there. So my wife and I think we're going to maybe get a stained glass panel. We did go out and look for stained glass panels at some antique shops, but we couldn't find anything that would fit exactly in there. Of course, that's going to be pretty tough to do. You know, we'd be really lucky if we did find that. So it looks like we might be having that custom made for us. So we'll have to hold on to our hold on and remember that we're doing this part of it too. So another thing I need to do is build a light for inside there. Everything in here I'm building myself, as far as the cabinet and the light. So I got that to do yet. So let's pull these drawer fronts out of here and take them out to the shop. Now, they've already been sanded. I need to go over them a little bit with a tack cloth and just check for anything that needs to be touched up, but they're pretty much ready to go. So let's go out there to the shop and we'll put some stain on these and move forward. I've moved all three drawer fronts out here and I have them upside down right now. So I will stain the backs first, and then I'll go through and stain the front and the sides. Now, the reason why I'm doing it like this and just not doing one side, flipping them and doing the other, is I've had some issues in the past where I stain multiple pieces, and while I'm off staining another one, the one I've already stained starts to dry, and before I can flip it and do the other side, it's dried to a point as to where I put on the coat of stain on the other side, and where the two drier stain and the wetter stain meet, it causes some interaction between the two where you could tell that it had been stained earlier and then someone has gone back and stained some more. So I don't want that. I want a nice even stain to happen. I don't know how to explain it, but I want everything to look uniform. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to just stain the back first, not the sides, but just the back, and then wipe it down, and then flip them, and then do the top and sides. So that's my plan. We're going to try it and see how it works out. I mean, even if it doesn't work out, I can just flip them real fast and do it, but I want to try and make it look real nice, so nice and uniform. So I got everything laid out here. I got my gloves, tack cloth, got my towels for wiping it down, my sponge brush, and the stain itself. So this is the stain that I'm using. It's the same stain that I used on the rest of the cabinet. We're going to open up the stain and stir it up real good, and then I'll start applying the stain. So let me get the stain stirred and then we will move on. Alright, we're just going to take our time here. I might do one at a time and wipe it down, and then we'll move on to the next. Now this is the gel stain that I used before, and I really like it. I like that it doesn't run all over the place when I'm doing this. It just seems a little bit more manageable. Now there is a big difference between like an oil-based stain and a gel stain. A gel stain really doesn't penetrate that far into the wood, but that's fine for this application. It is a drawer front, so you know, if worse comes to worse, you could sand that area and restain it, and then reapply your clear finish over it. I've never had to do that yet. I've had no issues with this so far, so I don't know really about repairing it. But so far I like the gel stain. So I'll do this one, and then I'll show you how I'm doing it, and then I'll come back and, well, I'll do the other ones and then come back. But I'm really happy to get this far. It just seems like this project is taking forever to get done, and you know, it's pretty much my own fault because I've been doing other things, you know, trying to make some videos, doing other things. I got ham radio related stuff to do, and you know, we're working at the tower site and all that kind of business. And then we got this this eclipse coming up, so I got friends coming over for that. Alright, so I don't remember what it said to leave this on for, so we'll leave it on here a second. Let me read the instructions real quick, and I got another butt jar, so I'll read the instructions, then we'll wipe this off. Alright, it says to let it stand or sit on the wood surface for about 2 to 5 minutes, so maybe I can get this one done too, and then I'll go back and wipe that one off. I just don't want it to get dried, you know. I don't want it to dry up, start drying before I can wipe it off, which is the issues that I was having before. What do you guys do, you know, you woodworkers out there who are watching this channel? What is your technique for doing something like this? What do you use, and how do you use it? I'm not a big finisher. This finishing is the part of woodworking that I really don't care for, because there's so many decisions to make. If you mess something up, you got problems. So I don't really care for finishing. In fact, I know there's, you know, woodworkers out there who will send their projects out to a finishing shop. We don't have anything like that around here. So I'm the finishing shop. Alright, so a little bit more here, and then we'll call this one that's got it on there. Alright, so looking good. So I would say that one over there has probably been on there for 5 minutes, so I'm going to stop the camera and I'm going to wipe that one off, and we'll take a look at it. Alright, let's get this wiped off. I just kind of go at it lightly for the first, you know, for going over it the first time. I just kind of go over it lightly. And we're really not worried about too many imperfections on the back side. But I don't know. There's pretty good grain on the back, you know, really. I could have just not veneered it at all and just used this, but I'm not really that good with, you know, looking at hickory and knowing what it's going to look like with a stain on it. So this is the back. So it looks pretty good. So we'll let that stain set on the other one, and I'll do this one that I didn't touch yet, and I'll go back and wipe this one off. Alright, I flipped the pieces. Now we'll do the fronts. So we'll just take our time and see what we come up with. And this is what I'm talking about. Like when I put the stain on the edge like this, and of course I'm getting this bead on the other surface, and that happens on this over here. So I don't want that to become darker than the rest. So how do I do that without, how do I put this on without making that happen? So I guess I'm just going to have to, when I flip it over, I have to make sure that I get that cleaned off there right away before it decides to dry and show a mark where it's a darker color than the rest of it. But yeah, this kind of stuff, I always have issues with it. I don't know why. It's just the way it happens for me. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there who do this all the time that can tell you all the little tricks. So I'm just going to do one at a time and let it dry. And that way I can give my full attention to it. And then come back and do the other ones. I just want to let you see what I'm doing. So after I get this all on, I'll come back with a rag and come underneath of it and clean that off. It's not going to dry before I get done. I'll just do one at a time until I make sure that I've got everything under control. And then I'll move on to the next one. So this is how it's going so far. It looks pretty good. I really like this color. I'm not really into like golden oak. My last house I made a bunch of, I made some built-in cabinets and did all the woodworking in that house. And everything was red oak with golden oak stain. And it's kind of traditional, I guess. If you look on my Instagram page for Cocolet Woodworking, you'll find my photos from that house and other things that I've made. But I don't really do a whole lot of social media. I mean, I was getting into it for a while, but there's just so much to do, and I have so much work to do that I don't always have the time to put into doing that. Yeah, this is looking really good. I really like this veneer a lot. It had some saw marks in it right here that I could not get out. I didn't want to sand it too much to go like burn through the veneer, so I just left it in there as a kind of just a kind of a cool thing. I don't know if the other ones are going to come out like that. A lot of times you don't see it until after you put the stain on. Okay, so I got that done. Now I'm going to take my rag here and just kind of go underneath here. See if I can't get that other stuff off. It's not going to make too big of a difference because it's the drawer back. So it's not going to make that big of a difference, but I like to make my stuff look good. Alright, let me let this dry and then I'll wipe it down and then I'll come back. I'm back and have everything all stained. Now I'm going to let these sit here overnight and dry. And I like leaving the little saw marks in there. It kind of gives it that rustic look. And I see a spot over here that I missed when I was wiping. So I got that taken care of. Yeah, let's give it a little bit more. There we go. So yeah, they look real good. And they'll look really nice when they get the clear finish put on it. I'll show you what I'm going to use for the clear. get this out of the bag here. This is what I'm using for the clear finish. So it's a water-based product. I really like that a lot because it dries fast, and I don't need a whole lot of durability. I think if you put too many coats of clear on there, it just looks I don't know. It takes away from the look of the piece. So I don't like that. So yeah, when it gets a few coats of the clear finish on there, it's really going to look nice. So let me back up and we'll have a look at these real fast, and then I'll let these sit overnight and then I'll come back. So our next little project is locating the hardware. I'm not too sure what I want. Like my last cabinet I made, I had just a center pull, and I'm not too sure whether I don't want a pull on each side. Now, if you pull from the middle, you're always going to be pulling straight out. Sometimes if you're more right-handed than left, you might pull from one side to the other. If you had two pulls, I don't know. Who knows? But I think we're probably going to end up going with a center pull. And I just need to find the ones that I want. The old house I had, the old one I made had like a polished nickel. This one I think I want to go a little darker with. And whatever I choose is going to be the overall theme of the house. So when it's all done, all the trim and everything, the baseboard and everything, will all be hickory. So the other house was all redwood. So hopefully that house that we sold, they didn't paint that wood, because I would just die. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and money went into that. And we got all that money back when we sold the house, because the lady who bought that house bought it about 2 hours after we put it on the market. So that was pretty nice. So, you know, I don't really care for painted wood trim or anything like that. I like the natural wood to shine through, so that's what we're doing here. So let me shut the camera off, and tomorrow morning we'll come back and we'll put some clear finish on this. Alright, it's the next morning, and actually it's nearly lunch, and I'm going to start putting the clear coat on these. Let me turn the camera around and show you what I'm going to be doing. Alright, we got our drawer fronts face down, and I'm just going to put maybe 1 or 2 coats on the bottom of the drawer fronts, or the back of the drawer fronts, I guess you could call it. And that's all I'm going to do. And then when I flip them around, I'll let this dry, and then when I flip them around, I'll probably put 3 coats on the fronts and the sides, and that will be it. So let me get to work on this, and we'll get this job done. Alrighty, I am back, and I got 2 coats on the backs. It went on really nice, and it looks really nice. The grain in this wood is really nice. So I'm up the air about whether I should have veneered it or not, but I'm glad I did. The backs will look nice. We'll flip it over, and I'll put 3 coats on the fronts, and we will look and see what that grain looks like. I'm hoping it looks every bit as good as the backs. I guess I could always flip them over. I didn't like it, but yeah, you never know what you're gonna get. So anyway, let me get back to working here, and I'll come back and we'll see what it looks like. Here is the drawer fronts after 3 coats. Everything looks real nice. You can see that beautiful grain. It is so nice. What do you think about these saw marks? Should I have left them in, or should I have taken them out? What do you think? I like them in there. I wish they all had it. I guess I could have simulated it, but you know, you don't think about those things. But I'm glad I'm past this point. You know, I got these done, and now I can move on to the doors, and we still have our door parts here. So we'll start working on that and get these doors made. We will cut them up to the right thickness and then the lengths, and then we'll start assembling those. And then I have to make some panels to go in them, and I need some more veneer for that. So I thought I was going to have enough veneer with what I ordered, but I'm not, so I'm going to have to order some more, of course. So that's kind of a bummer. And then after I get those doors made, then it's just the transom and the light, and we're done. So then I can move on to other things. I brought these drawer fronts and set them into the cabinet. They're not screwed down or anything, and they don't have any hardware on them yet. But I wanted to let you know, or let you see how they looked. I have some little spacers here. They're little pieces of flooring that I got. And they're about 16 inches thick. So that's about the gap I want. So as long as they fit all the way around, that'll work out for me. So this is what the cabinet is looking like right now with those in there. I don't know, I'm a little bit close, but that's what it looks like. And I like it. I like it a lot. And we were going to go with a single pull on the front of each one of the drawers. I thought about the double pulls, the 2 pulls on each side of the drawer, but I think I'm just going to go with a single. So I'm going to order those today, and then when they come in, I'll install them and then give you another view of this, the way it looks. So our next project is working on the doors, and as you know, I already got the wood already veneered for that, so we just need to cut it down and start fitting it. So that is our next step with this. All right, well, I've been working on this all day long. I've been out working in the yard, picking up sticks and running them through the chipper. And what else did we went? My wife and I went grocery shopping and went to doctor's appointments. And what else did we do? We had breakfast. Went out and had breakfast. So yeah, I was in and out doing these, and they're done. So I'll let them sit here probably a day or so before I bring them in the house. And I don't have hardware for them, so I think I've nailed down what kind of hardware I'm going to put on them. And it's going to be like a brushed, oh, not brushed, but it's going to be like a, oh, not brass. I can't think of the name of it. Jesus, I'm getting old. Bronze. It's going to be bronze. So I want to take a look at them. You know, when they come, I'll stick them up there and see if I like them. And cross my fingers I do. And then I'll install those, and those drawers will be finished. So, yeah, what do you think about that? Yeah, it's a long process, especially for me, because I have a lot of things that I do besides woodworking. Of course, you all know I'm a ham operator, and I do photography sometimes. And there's just a lot of things that keep me busy here on this property. We have quite a few acres of land, so and trails and things like that. And then we also got this eclipse coming up, and we got people coming over for that. So I got work to do to get ready for them to come. So yeah, it's been a long time coming to try to get this cabinet done. So I'm really happy I'm at this point. But anyway, if you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe to my channel. And let's see what else. Leave me a comment. Yeah, leave me a comment and tell me about these drawer fronts. Do you like them? And if you don't, what don't you like about them? And if you do, what do you like about them? Thank you for stopping by, and we'll catch you next time.